Well, joining us now from Leicester is Majid Freeman. He went to Syria as a volunteer 3 times in 2013 as part of an aid convoy with the charity Al-Fatihah. Majid, thank you very much for joining us this evening. What kind of suspicions were made of you when you decided you were going to go to Syria? Did anybody sort of question your real intent?
To be honest, which time are we talking about? Like, I've been 3 times now.
Well,
the first time when I went, the first time, it's very important we make this clear, because the first time when I went, the government were actually the British government was actually intending to invade Syria and to help the rebels, and they were against Assad. Now, it's the third time when I went, the government, even though there's nothing wrong in us going to Syria, it's not a criminal offense. However, it seems like when we come back from Syria, we're being criminalized and we're seen as a threat to the country.
Tell us what you were really doing then.
I'm an aid worker. I'm a humanitarian aid worker. I work normally 9 till 5 in my spare time. I go with my own money. We've been to Syria. I've been to many areas in Syria, including Aleppo. We visited the hospital which Dr. Abbas Khan was also working at. We delivered aid there. We gave them ambulances as well. And we're intending to give them more ambulances. However, because of these tactics, scaremongering tactics, which are being used by the government, the people who are suffering on the ground in Syria are the innocent Syrian people.
What do you make of this new police campaign then, encouraging women to report their sons and husbands if they're intending to go to Syria?
I think it's just another scaremongering tactic used by the government. For example, initially we heard how the government were asking the mosques to spy on Muslims, on the Muslim communities. Then we heard how just a few days ago, the Prevent are asking NHS, the doctors, to spy on Muslim patients. Then today we're hearing about Muslim mothers being asked to spy on sons, on their children. What are we going to hear tomorrow?
Majid, it's not scaremongering, is it? If the numbers of young men from this country going to fight when they get to Syria is increasing, isn't there a danger that they will be sucked into the fighting, even if they are going to deliver aid like you did?
Okay, but what's the percentage of these Muslims? Yeah, it's less than 0.001% of Muslims who are inside Syria, and we're making such a big deal, and the repercussions are the rest of the Muslim community are having to face the consequences. Like, for example, me myself, I'm a humanitarian aid worker. Just before I last left for Syria, the Prevent police, they came to see me, and I made it very clear I'm a humanitarian aid worker. And it seemed like we had some sort of a trust there between us, as I was very clear with them and I was open with them. The minute I got to Syria, the same police were going back to my house and harassing my family members, and they were mentally harassing them by telling them, do you know Majid's gone to a dangerous place, this could happen, that could happen, and I had my parents ringing me scared. So it's like the Prevent, all these policies, they tell you one thing, however, the reality is completely different. And those of us who are in this field, for example, the aid workers, we experience it firsthand and we know the reality.
Majid Freeman in Leicester, thank you very much for talking to us this evening.